Leo was a simple young man who loved strange things on the internet. He wasn't rich, famous, or special. He worked a normal job, lived in a small apartment, and spent most of his free time scrolling through weird websites. That's where he saw it, an old glitchy website with only one item for sale. Planet Alara 7, $1 no refund, no questions. Leo blinked. A whole planet? For $1? It had to be a joke. But the website looked serious. There were star maps, ownership rights, and strange words like intergalactic deed. Curious, Leo clicked, buy now. He laughed to himself. Even if it's fake, it's just $1. Seconds after his purchase, his screen turned black. A single message appeared. You are now the legal owner of Planet Alara 7. Prepare for retrieval. Leo stared at the screen, confused. Before he could refresh the page, a strange hum filled the room. The lights flickered. His phone buzzed, but it wasn't a message. His entire phone glowed blue and then shut off. The air around him grew heavy, like something big was coming. Outside his window, the sky changed. A circular object hovered silently above his building. It wasn't a helicopter. It wasn't a drone. It was metallic, round and glowing with lines that moved like they were alive. A beam of light shot down through his ceiling, and before Leo could scream or run, the world disappeared around him. He woke up floating in a glass chamber. The walls were smooth and silver. He wasn't hurt, but he wasn't on Earth anymore. A soft voice spoke around him. Welcome, Planet Master. Leo sat up quickly. What? Who said that? A figure stepped forward. Not a person, but a machine. It was a tall robot, with glowing blue eyes and smooth silver arms. It moved like it was gliding. Its voice was calm and respectful. You are the rightful owner of Planet Alara 7. We have been waiting for your arrival. Leo rubbed his eyes. This can't be real. I just bought it as a joke. For $1. The robot nodded. The transaction was valid. Ownership confirmed. The planet awaits your command. The chamber door opened. Leo followed the robot into a large ship. Through the window, he saw stars. More stars than he had ever imagined. The ship wasn't in Earth's orbit. It was far from home. The stars looked different, brighter, larger. He had really left Earth. His heart pounded. Where are we going? To Alara 7, the robot replied. Leo sat down, still trying to understand everything. Why me? Why sell a planet for $1? The robot paused before answering. The world has been empty for centuries, but it was not forgotten. It was waiting. For you. Leo couldn't believe it. Him? Why would a planet wait for a normal human like him? Hours passed, or maybe days. He couldn't tell in space. Finally, the ship slowed down. Outside the window, a planet appeared. It was beautiful, covered in blue oceans, green lands, and white clouds. 3 moons floated nearby. There were lights on the surface, glowing in patterns like the planet itself was still alive. Planet Alara 7, the robot said with a soft tone, almost like pride. Your new home. The ship landed on a platform in the middle of a large, silent city. No people walked the streets. No birds flew in the sky. Yet everything looked perfect. Clean, shining, and still working. The buildings were tall, curved, and made of strange materials. Water flowed through clear channels and lights turned on as Leo passed by. He looked around, amazed. Where is everyone? The robot walked beside him. Gone. Long ago. But their message remained. A final command. Leo turned to the robot. What command? The robot slowly pointed to a tall tower in the center of the city. On its wall, in bright glowing letters, was a message in both alien symbols and English. Wait for the human. Leo stepped back, speechless. The robot looked at him gently. You were not chosen by accident, Planet Master. You are the final piece of this world's puzzle. And with that, the wind began to blow for the first time in centuries. Leo stood in the middle of a grand city that should have been full of life. The buildings were tall and beautiful, made of shining metal and glowing glass. Roads were smooth and clean. Trees lined the walkways, but there were no birds, no animals, no people. The city was perfect but completely empty. The caretaker robot walked beside him, silent for a long moment. "This city," Leo said quietly. "It feels like it's still alive. But where is everyone?" The robot's voice was calm. "They are no more. The builders of Alara 7 vanished many centuries ago. One day they simply disappeared. No war, no sickness, just gone." Leo looked around. "Did they leave?" "No," the robot replied. "They became silent. Before they vanished, they left one message: wait for the human." "But why?" Leo asked. "What would a human have to do with this?" The robot tilted its head. "Even we do not fully know. Only that the architects believed humanity carried a special trait, one they could not create or understand." Leo felt a strange chill. Why would an alien civilization design a planet to wait for a species they'd never met? It made no sense. Yet here he was. They walked deeper into the city. As Leo passed certain places, lights flickered on. Doors opened without command. Fountains began to flow. It was as if the planet was recognizing him. "The systems are responding to you," the robot said. "You are unlocking them. They have been sleeping for a long time." Leo paused near a garden full of silver-leafed trees. As he stepped in, the leaves turned green, and flowers bloomed where he walked. It was beautiful and strange. "I don't understand this," Leo whispered. The robot pointed to a pedestal at the edge of the garden. On it lay a round crystal. It pulsed softly. Leo touched it, and suddenly, a voice echoed in his mind. "You are the seed of balance. You bring what we lacked." Leo pulled his hand away. Did you hear that?" The robot nodded. "A memory crystal. You activated it. Only those chosen by the planet can hear the voices." Leo sat down, feeling overwhelmed. "I didn't ask for this. I just clicked a link on a website." "You were meant to," the robot said. "This was not chance. Alara 7 was designed to search the stars, to find someone compatible. When your kind reached the right stage of growth, the message was sent across galaxies. The one who accepted would be the one the world needs." "So this isn't just a sale," Leo said slowly. "It's a key, and I'm the one who fits?" The robot nodded once. "Yes, you are the key, the last piece. But the planet has only just started waking up." As they moved toward the central tower of the city, Leo noticed changes. The grass was growing greener. The air felt fresher. Lights in the distance glowed softly, spreading across the horizon. He reached out and touched a wall of the tower. A line of symbols lit up. The robot translated. "To build perfection, one must first understand imperfection." Leo frowned. "What does that mean?" The robot explained. "The builders were brilliant, but they were too logical, too precise. They tried to make a perfect society, but something was missing. Their own minds became cold. Their emotions faded. Their culture collapsed in silence. And they thought humans had the answer?" "Yes," the robot said. "Humanity has chaos, emotion, creativity, conflict, and kindness together. The builders believed your kind carried the balance they could not make." Leo stood quietly thinking. He never thought of humans that way. But maybe from far away that's how they were seen. As night fell on Alara 7, the stars above sparkled, like diamonds. The city was still silent, but something had changed. The planet felt less cold, less empty. "You said the planet is waking up," Leo said. "What happens when it's fully awake?" The robot's eyes glowed softly. "Then it will decide what to become, with your help." Leo didn't know how to feel. He wasn't a leader. He wasn't special. But somehow this forgotten world believed in him. And maybe, just maybe, he was ready to believe in it too. The next morning on Alara 7 didn't come with sunlight. It came with music. As Leo stepped outside the building where he had rested, he heard soft tones echoing across the empty city. They didn't come from any machine or speaker. They came from the world itself. The trees, the wind, the water, and the fountains all hummed together in gentle harmony. "It's like the planet is singing," Leo said, amazed. The caretaker robot nodded. "This is part of the awakening. Elara 7 is reacting to your presence. You are unlocking its forgotten senses." They walked through a market square where shops once stood. Though there were no people, the lights turned on one by one as Leo passed. Doors opened, revealing rooms filled with preserved tools, clothing, and strange glowing orbs. It felt like the owners had just stepped out and might return any moment. In the center of the square was a round platform, raised slightly, with a symbol on it, 2 circles, one within the other, connected by a line. "What is this?" Leo asked. "A linking station," the robot replied. "Place your hand in the center." Leo hesitated, then stepped forward and put his palm on the symbol. Instantly, a blue ring of light formed around him. A warm breeze rushed past his face. Then, everything around him changed. He was no longer in the market square. He stood in a wide, white room. It had no doors or windows, only walls covered in floating symbols. A figure appeared, a hologram of a being with long arms and a tall, smooth head. It looked peaceful, with kind eyes and calm movements. "Welcome, human," the figure said. "You have passed the first test. Elara recognizes you." Leo couldn't speak. He simply listened. "This planet is more than a place. It is a living system, a thinking network of memories, machines, and dreams. But it was made incomplete. Only one like you could finish what we began." "Why me?" Leo finally asked. "Because your kind is not perfect, and that is what we lacked. You are the puzzle, piece of choice, of emotion, of change." The hologram vanished. Leo found himself back in the square. The robot was standing quietly nearby. "You saw them," the robot said. Leo nodded. "They made this planet with a purpose, didn't they?" "Yes," said the robot. "Elara 7 is not only a home, it is a bridge. A place meant to connect 2 civilizations, one ancient, one new. The builders created the body. Humans would give it the soul." Leo looked around. "Then what am I supposed to do now?" The robot gestured to a distant structure, taller than all others, shaped like a spire reaching into the sky. "You must go to the Heart Tower. That is where the true connection will begin." As they walked, the city changed more. Trees grew taller. Birds, small and robotic, began to fly again. The skies turned a soft gold. It was as if the world was remembering what it used to be. On the way, Leo passed murals etched into the walls. They told the story of the builders. They were intelligent and advanced, but their world grew cold and empty. They had no laughter, no art, no music. They tried to fix it, but failed. In the end, they built Elara 7, put their hopes inside it, and left behind one command: wait for someone who could feel. When Leo and the robot reached the Heart Tower, its doors opened without a sound. Inside, it was warm and bright. In the center floated a large orb, glowing with soft colors that moved like clouds. "This is the living core," said the robot. "It connects every part of the planet. It is sleeping now, but if you touch it, it will begin the next stage." Leo stepped forward slowly. His heart beat fast. He raised his hand and touched the orb. For a moment, there was silence. Then a heartbeat, not his, echoed in the air. The orb pulsed. The lights on the walls flickered to life. The ground beneath his feet vibrated softly. The planet was waking up, and it recognized him. Leo took a deep breath. Whatever this journey was, it had only just begun. The orb in the Heart Tower glowed brighter with every passing second. Leo stood quietly, his fingers still resting on its smooth surface. The caretaker robot watched silently as the lights around them changed from soft blues to deep golden waves. Voice echoed through the tower, not from the robot, not from a machine, but from the orb itself. "Human link accepted. Access to core memory granted. Before Leo could ask what that meant, the ground beneath him shifted. A circular platform slowly descended into the floor. The air grew warmer, filled with a low humming sound. As they moved deeper underground, the robot turned to him. "This place has not been opened since the builders vanished," it said. "You are the first to reach the core since that day." "How deep does it go?" Leo asked. "Far enough to hide what must be protected," the robot replied. The platform stopped with a soft click. In front of them was a massive chamber, unlike anything Leo had seen before. It stretched endlessly in every direction. The walls were filled with floating shapes, cubes, rings, and glowing crystals, all turning slowly in the air. Everything seemed to be alive, moving like it was part of a great machine. "What is this place?" Leo whispered. "This is the Mind Vault," the robot said. "These are memory cubes. They hold the thoughts, dreams, and failures of the builders. They stored everything here when they knew their time was ending." Leo walked carefully between the glowing shapes. Each one hummed softly, like it was waiting to be touched. One cube floated toward him, stopping just inches from his face. He reached out and touched it. A flash of light surrounded him, and suddenly, he wasn't in the chamber anymore. He stood in a bright, clean city. It was full of life. The builders, tall, peaceful beings, walked through the streets, worked in labs, and spoke calmly. They were smart, advanced, and quiet. Their world looked perfect. But as Leo watched, the scenes changed. The city became colder. The builders no longer spoke to each other. They moved like machines. Their smiles faded. The skies turned gray. Music stopped. Laughter disappeared. Then the last scene showed a group of builders standing in a circle. One of them held a model of a planet, Ilara 7. "We cannot survive this emptiness," one of them said. "Our minds are strong, but our hearts are failing. We need a species that understands chaos, feeling, and imperfection." Another builder added, "The humans are young, but they have what we lack. Let Ilara wait. Let it call to one of them." Then, everything went dark. Leo gasped and stepped back. The cube floated away silently. The robot stood nearby. "You saw the truth." Leo nodded. "They weren't destroyed. They gave up. They became too perfect and lost what made life worth living." "Yes," the robot said. "And that is why they created Ilara 7, a planet built with both control and freedom. They hoped one day a human would come and bring the missing spark." Leo looked around the chamber. "All of this for one person?" "For one who would carry both mind and heart," the robot answered. They walked to the center of the core. There, a large crystal floated, different from the others. It pulsed with a rhythm like a slow heartbeat. "This is the final link," the robot said. "It connects the planet to its new guardian." Leo hesitated. "Guardian? Me?" "Yes. If you accept, the planet will begin to trust you fully. It will grow with you, learn from you, and change based on your choices." Leo stood still. He was just an ordinary person. But here, on a sleeping world, he was something more. He placed his hand on the crystal. A wave of light shot out in every direction. The memory cube spun faster. The chamber lit up like a sky full of stars. Above, on the surface, trees bloomed, rivers sparkled, and the city lights danced. Ilara 7 was no longer silent. The core had awakened. Leo stepped back, feeling the world breathe around him. He wasn't just a visitor anymore. He was part of the planet now. Days passed on Ilara 7, and the planet was no longer the same. Grasslands stretched wider. New plants bloomed in the gardens. The skies became clear and golden. Machines that had rested for centuries now moved again. Birds, some real, some mechanical, returned to the trees. The planet had begun to live once more. Leo walked through the Heart Tower, feeling the changes everywhere. The lights followed him. The air felt warm. Ilara 7 was not just waking, It was bonding with him. The caretaker robot spoke. Gently, the connection grows stronger. You have become part of the world's system. Leo nodded. I can feel it too. It's like the planet listens, even before I speak. But peace never lasts forever. That evening, as the sun dipped behind the hills, Leo stood outside the tower. He looked up and saw something that made his heart freeze. Dark shapes were moving in the sky. At first, they looked like birds. Then he realized they were not birds. They were ships. 5 black spacecraft entered Alara 7's orbit. They moved fast, sharp, and without warning. One of them sent out a loud sound, a pulse that made the tower walls shake. Leo turned to the robot. What are they? The robot's voice changed. It was deeper, colder. Not allies. These ships do not belong to the builders or this system. They are from the ones who once opposed the builders' plans. They feared humans. The largest ship sent down a glowing red message above the city. This planet must be reset. Step away, human. Leo's hands clenched. Reset? What does that mean? They want to wipe the planet, the robot explained. Start over. Remove your influence. Remove you. Leo felt anger rise in his chest. I'm not letting that happen. The robot's eyes flickered. The defenses are still weak. We need time. You must go to the pillar of defense and activate the old systems. Where is it? North of the core, near the mountain ridge. I will guide you. Without delay, Leo ran to the transport station. A sleek pod was waiting, half train, half shuttle. He jumped inside and the robot joined him. As the pod sped forward through underground tunnels, Leo looked out the window. Red flashes lit the sky. The alien ships had started firing. Small test blasts, warning shots. Buildings shook. The planet trembled. They're testing us, Leo said. They don't know how strong the planet really is. Correct, the robot replied. They believe Alara 7 is still asleep. But soon, they will learn it is no longer alone. The pod stopped near a giant platform built into the mountain. The pillar of defense was there, a tall, silent tower with a glowing core inside it. Machines surrounded it, old and quiet. Leo stepped forward and touched the control panel. It lit up. Identity confirmed. Human Guardian. Defense protocol. Standby mode. Reactivate, Leo shouted. Turn it on. The ground shook. Energy flowed through the tower. The old machines woke with loud clicks and deep roars. Giant metal arms lifted from the earth. Shields spread across the skies like invisible domes. Back in the city, the red message from the enemy ships disappeared. Then another message appeared. So, the planet remembers. Let us see how long it can resist. One of the alien ships fired. A direct blast toward the heart tower. Just before it hit, a golden shield flared up from the pillar systems. The blast scattered in the sky like dust. Leo breathed hard. We did it. The robot stood tall beside him. It is only the beginning. They will not leave peacefully. Leo stared at the skies. He wasn't just defending a planet anymore. He was defending a dream, and this time the planet was standing with him. Smoke drifted across the skies of Alara 7 as the alien ships hovered above, circling like shadows. Their weapons were strong, but they hadn't broken through the planet's defenses yet. Inside the pillar of defense, Leo stood before the control panel, sweat on his face. His hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but from pressure. The machines around him hummed louder, powered by energy flowing through the planet's core. The caretaker robot stood beside him. The shield is holding, but only for now. The enemy will try something stronger soon. Leo looked out the window. Then we need to get stronger too. He turned back to the panel and tapped the blinking symbol labeled Deep Link. Warning, full bond required. Proceed? Leo hesitated. He knew what that meant. The core had explained it earlier. The deep link was the final connection between him and the planet. If he agreed, he would not just control parts of Alara 7, he would become part of it. He took a deep breath. Do it. The moment he confirmed, the platform below him lit up. Thin lines of energy wrapped around his body. A soft humming filled the air. Not painful, but powerful. It wasn't just noise. It was the sound of the planet recognizing its guardian. The robot spoke calmly. You are merging with Alara's system. You will feel more, see more, but your body may become weak during the process. Be careful. Suddenly, Leo's vision changed. He was no longer seeing just the tower. He could see everything. He saw the trees swaying in the wind. He felt the rivers moving over rocks. He heard the birds chirping miles away. The planet wasn't just a place anymore. It was a living thing, and he was now inside it. Welcome, Leo, a calm voice said in his mind. We are Alara. I'm here, Leo replied in his thoughts. What do I need to do? Protect what has been reawakened. Let us guide you. The towers around the city came alive. Hidden weapons rose from the ground, not for destruction, but for defense. A glowing blue energy pulse shot into the sky, signaling the change. The alien ships above paused. Then, as if understanding the threat, they opened fire. Missiles flew toward the planet, but Alara was ready. Large shields appeared mid-air, catching the blasts before they hit the surface. Then Alara responded, not with missiles, but with waves of energy that pushed the enemy ships back. Leo felt the energy pass through him. He was the heart now, and the planet trusted him. More are coming, the voice of Alara warned. A larger ship waits beyond the dark side of our moon. Leo focused. His thoughts were now commands. He sent signals to redirect power from old storage units into the shield walls. He opened unused towers buried in the mountain ranges and activated air defense drones. In the skies, the alien ships tried to regroup, but Alara's systems responded faster than they expected. Their leader sent a final message. You were just a human. Now you're something more. We will return. The enemy ships vanished into space, retreating behind the stars. Silence returned to Alara, 7. Leo dropped to one knee. The deep link had taken a lot of his energy. The robot helped him up gently. You did it, it said. You and the planet are now one. Leo looked around, his breathing heavy but steady. It wasn't just me. Alara helped me. The sky turned golden again. Trees glowed gently. Birds returned to their nests. The city lights blinked in peaceful patterns. The planet was no longer just a machine. It was alive, and it had chosen Leo as its soul. As he stood up, the voice of Alara echoed softly in his mind once more. Thank you, human. You brought back what was missing. Not control, not power, but feeling. Leo smiled. The planet had waited for centuries. Now, it had finally found what it needed. Months had passed since Leo became one with Alara 7. The planet was alive in ways no one could have imagined. Trees grew taller, rivers ran clearer, and cities buzzed with life again. The silent streets were filled with gentle hums of machines and birdsong. Leo walked outside the Heart Tower. The sky was a deep blue dotted with bright stars. Around him, the world seemed peaceful, full of hope. Beside him, the caretaker robot smiled, its way of showing it was happy. Look at this place, Leo said softly. It's alive. It's beautiful. Yes, the robot replied. Thanks to you, the builder's dream lives on. Leo smiled, but his thoughts were far away. He remembered the day he bought the planet for $1. It seemed like a joke, then. Now it was his home, his responsibility. Suddenly, a ship appeared in the sky, a small craft from Earth. It landed gently near the city. A group of explorers stepped out looking amazed. Leo greeted them warmly. Welcome to Alara 7. The leader of the explorers bowed slightly. We received your message, Guardian. We come in peace. Leo nodded. This planet is no longer empty. It's awake, and I am its heart. The explorers looked around, their eyes wide with wonder. The cities, the forests, the rivers. They had never seen a world like this. One of them asked, How did you do this? How did you bring life back? Leo smiled. I didn't do it alone. The planet was waiting. It needed someone to connect with, to bring balance. He looked at the stars above. The builders wanted a perfect world, but perfection without feeling is empty. Humans have chaos, emotion, and hope. That's what Alara 7 needed. The explorers nodded slowly. They understood. Now, this was not just a planet. They were witnessing a new kind of life. Later, Leo stood on a hill overlooking the city. The wind touched his face. In his mind, he heard Alara's voice, soft and clear. Thank you, Leo. You gave me heart and soul. Together we will protect this world and all who come. Leo closed his eyes and smiled. He was no longer just a man who bought a planet for $1. He was the guardian, the final piece of a great puzzle, and together, they would shape the future.